Shalom Akim, Quan coming through once again with another video or segment or whatever you want to call it. And I just want to make this real brief. Just wanted to touch on this little tidbit of an article that I came across in regards to Jay Electronica and his recent, debut album, which features Jay-Z. And on the album, there's a lot of truth. And, there's a lot of Luciferianism on there as well in regards to the esotericism of the propagation and promotion of Islam and Allah and all that stuff, but that's another video for another day. I just wanted to touch on this particular line right here in regards to the synagogue of Satan, in which the Hot 97 personality Peter Rosenberg was offended by. And he was offended by this line because the synagogue of Satan line comes from the scriptures in the book of Revelation 3:9 as well as 2:9. And we know that revelation means revelatory, means to reveal. So we living in the days of revelation, with the advent of what's going on with this coronavirus and people not really giving you the understanding of why they covering up this so-called virus for what's really going on in regards to the pedophile sex ring, which I'm going to touch on in another video. But that's why that whole coronavirus situation is going on, because of what's really being concealed. But back to this synagogue of Satan stuff. The synagogue of Satan line is in reference to these fake Jews who dwell in the synagogues. And basically, these fake Jews are not the real Jews. That's why it tells you in Revelation 3:9 that I know thy poverty and thy works, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews, but are not, but do lie, and are of the synagogue of Satan. So this hit Peter Rosenberg because Peter Rosenberg knows that he's not a real Jew. The real Jews are so-called black people. Peter Rosenberg probably took this little line and made it seem as if this is the only thing that he's mad at, when he's mad at the totality of the album, because the album throughout is giving you the understanding that so-called black people are the true children of Israel. Now, with the content that's mixed in with the Islam stuff, that has nothing to do with Israel, because the Most High did not give his chosen people Islam or anything like that. Islam is religion. The Most High did not give his people religion. So it's like a truth mixed in with a bunch of Luciferianism and different doctrines that's meant to confuse people. But if you already in the know and you understand the real skinny, then it's not going to confuse you. You're just going to be aware that, certain people come to the forefront when it comes to truth, but they still maintain their delusions of other philosophies that they adhere to. So I just wanted to go over the article real quick. So it says, Jay Electronica released his new album, A Written Testimony, and some have expressed that a particular line from one of his songs offended them. New York's Hot 97 Ebro in the Morning co-host Peter Rosenberg is going on the record to take issue with Jay Electronica's lyrics about the devil. You see, Satan is not the devil. You know what I mean? All the term devil means is deceiver. All Satan is an angel on the left-hand side that's under the operation of the Most High. Because Satan is used as a deceiving spirit that's meant to, deceive those who are predestined to be deceived and perpetually confounded and confused in regards to the real truth about this world and about this society. So that's what the devil is used for, and not just confoundment and confusion, but also just outright deception. You fall into the pits of, the vibration of Satan and what he manifests in certain people. The radio personality who is Jewish, so-called Jew, the term Jewish, it contains a suffix which means pertaining to. So if I call you a girl, or if I say you're girlish, but obviously you my guy, like you a guy, and you somebody I know, you a homeboy of mine, but I call you girlish, am I really calling you a girl, or am I saying that you being like a girl? It's the same thing with the term Jewish. They're not the real Jews. They just adopted a heritage and turned it into a religion. And, they put in their own belief system in regards to the Kabbalah and the Talmud throughout history. That's what took place, and that's what they believe in. They don't understand that the true Jews come from Jacob, a.k.a. Yasha'Allah, Israel. The true Jews come from Jacob in regards to the lineage. Race is determined based off of the lineage, based off of the seed line of the forefather. So whatever your father is what your race is. Peter Rosenberg is an Edomite. His forefather is Esau, Ishashua, the so-called man that was profane and a fornicator, the so-called man that basically did away with the blessing that was predestined for Jacob, but being that Esau, he was born first, he was given that, but it was already predestined for Jacob, but that's a whole nother story. Point being, Esau is the progenitor of the so-called Caucasians. Peter Rosenberg is not a true Jew. The true Jews come from the tribe of Judah, and the descendants of the Jews are so-called black people. And the rest of the 12 tribes, or the rest of the 11 tribes after Judah, the descendants of those tribes are so-called Afro descent people who are of, Spanish lineage or Native American lineage or Native American heritage, Guatemala, Cuban, so on and so forth. But they come from Afro descent. So if you see a so-called Spanish person that has a white father, then he's not an Israelite. You see a so-called black person that's classified as black, but his father is white, he's not an Israelite, he's an Edomite. So let's go on. Excuse me if I'm digressing. I just wanted to, you always want to add some context to what you're trying to bring out. So, the radio personality who was Jewish took to the synagogue of Satan, want me to hang by my collar, but according to Electronica, the radio host is just about clout chasing. It's just clout chasing. In a tweet addressing the issue, Rosenberg said, "Not feeling this bar from Jay Electronica, and I know I'm not the only person who felt the way about it." He went on to say that it's been a long time since hip-hop made him feel like, damn, does this artist hate Jews? Well, it's not in reference to, see, what he's saying is, what Jay Electronica is saying on that song is not that he hates Jews. He's saying that the real Jews are black, and the Jews that call themselves Jews are not the real Jews. That's what he's saying. You feel what I'm saying? Because the Rothschilds, the people that control the society, where you have every central bank in America being controlled by the head in regards to the board of trustees, in regards to, the Federal Reserve, so on and so forth. Those are the people who are in power, and those are the so-called Caucasian Jews. They adhere to certain rights and practices and mores that are of the Kabbalah and the Talmud. You feel what I'm saying? So those are the people that's known as the synagogue of Satan, the people that's in heavy, powerful positions in regards to the Rothschilds, the Warburgs, so on and so forth. And thank Jay for throwing it back. Just reading the rest of this. He went on to say that it's been a long time since hip-hop made him feel like, damn, does this artist hate Jews? And thank Jay for throwing it back. But the funny thing is, Kendrick Lamar, he had said on the Damn record, on the third track on Damn, excuse me, on the third track on Damn, which is titled Yah, which is short for the Most High, Yahweh, he was revealing that the true people, of Israel are so-called black people. You didn't see a fire or eruption over this in regards to certain media outlets. You feel what I'm saying? You've seen an eruption from different media outlets, but not from Hot 97 or the Breakfast Club, because they have a lot invested in Kendrick. But that's a whole nother story for another day. But yeah, man, like, this is just giving you the understanding that the Most High is letting it be known that we living in these last days, because everything is becoming more revelatory. We living in the days of truth. So, as the years go by, depending on, when the time comes, you're gonna be privy to more truth, because we living in the last days, and the Most High is gathering His elect. You feel what I'm saying? That's why these white people, they up in arms, because they know that their time is coming. They know that the recompense of the Most High, from the Most High, is coming down onto them in regards to revenge. Because it tells you in the book of Revelation, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. So Edom must face, what's coming to him. And you can read that in the book of Obadiah as well. The radio co-host actually then realized that was not Jay Electronica's first time mentioning the synagogue of Satan in his lyrics. He sent out another tweet clarifying that he had earlier quoted the wrong song, but he still disapproves of any use of this specific language as a Jew. After apologizing for the misquote, the radio added that he went and Googled it and learned that this is the second line that Jay-Z said the lyrics twice. Jay Electronica eventually caught wind of this and sent out 2 cells before addressing Peter directly. Clout chasing is at an all-time high. I'm guessing he spelled is wrong, but I'm guessing he was trying to say is. The rapper wrote on Twitter, and for the record, I stand on every single word I said on this album. Yes, because it's of the truth. In regards to what he talking about with that, all that other stuff with the Islam stuff, that's different. But no disrespect to anybody that's in these religions that believe in Allah and all that stuff. But that stuff is not of the Most High. That stuff is not of Israel. That stuff is not of the truth. And I know I might offend people with that, but it is what it is. Allah is not the God of Israel. The Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, is the God of Israel. You feel what I'm saying? His son, the Most High and his son, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. You know what I mean? They are one. So when we say that, we say Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. That's the quote unquote God of Israel. That's the power of Israel, not Allah. That stuff is man-made. So let's continue on. Sounds like we might have an interesting conversation coming up on Ebro. Do you think they'll follow, though? Do you think they follow through? My feet might fail me, my heart might ail me, the synagogue of Satan might accuse me or jail me. Not feeling this bar from Jay Electronica, and I know I'm not the only person who felt the way about it. And my thing about this is, like, why do you even feel away? Art is a form of expression at the end of the day. Why do you feel a way about what he's saying? Like, what does that have to do? What does that have to do with you in any way, in any capacity, other than the fact that you felt offended because you know that in your heart that that's not you. You're not the real Jews. You people are not the real Jews. So these people get offended when they see a black man start to really understand what the fuck is really going on. They don't like that. They don't like that. They'll commend you and applaud you for all that pro-black shit. But once you say something about Israel, they hate you. And the reason why Peter Rosenberg is offended by this is because he's really offended by the intro to the album. If you listen to the intro to the album, then that puts 2 and 2 together. All you gotta do is listen to the intro to the album. Listen to what Farrakhan is saying. Other than the fact that he says that Elijah Muhammad was sent, was given an understanding that the true people of Israel are so-called black people of captivity by the God Allah, which is a bunch of nonsense. But it's still the truth that the true people of Israel are the so-called black men and women of captivity. It's just that Allah, that deity is a false deity. You know what I mean? That comes from moon worship, but that's a whole nother story for another day. So let's continue on. Peter Rosenberg said, as a Jew, a so-called Jew, it puts me in a bad position. I could ignore the fact that I instantly felt a pang of discomfort and offense and basically sell out my culture, or I can be accused of being the Jewish media hating on this man, but it's how I felt. The line offended me. But it's just funny because the line doesn't necessarily apply to you unless you understand what that line is really about. And that line is just giving you a prophecy. You feel what I'm saying? About the fact that these people are not the real Jews. In these last days, the so-called black man is going to come to the understanding that he is a Jew. He is a true Jew, according to the understanding that he comes from the tribe of Judah, which is comprised of the 12 tribes of Israel. He's going to come to the understanding of that. And that's why you see all this stuff, because these white people are starting to understand that their rulership is coming to an end. It says Esau is the end of the world when you read the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, meaning the people that come from the true Israel, black people. Our kingdom is coming, and we're going to live in a righteous world, in a righteous realm, in a righteous plane of existence. Not in confusion and subterfuge and a whole bunch of propaganda and just confusion, for lack of a better term. It's just a whole bunch of just, like, America is known as the melting pot. And that's where the fuck we live in. We live, and it's not even just America. It's just global Babylonian, energy that we're under. It's a whole bunch of just subterfuge and just nonsense going on in this world. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It has been so long since hip-hop has done that to me. It used to be commonplace for songs to have lines that were iffy and made me feel like, damn, does this artist hate Jews? Not in a minute, so thanks for throwing it back, Jay. Please, man. Please. Apologies, I quoted the wrong song. Why? When I Googled Synagogue of Satan, I mistakenly assumed Jay only said it once. That is the second time. The line this time is the Synagogue of Satan want me to hang by my collar. So you saying you apologize, but you still nitpicking, which is the true energy of these so-called white people, man, because they're duplicitous. They hate when a so-called black man comes out with the truth, man. They hate that shit. They hate that. But it's all thanks and praises to the Heavenly Father, the Most High Yahweh. It's all praise to Yahweh, man. LOL, my bad. Song's dope. Besides that, cringe though. You people come from fucking Esau, man. You white people come from Esau. You people do not come from Jacob, man. You are not royal. You can't even survive under the sun for no longer than 15 minutes without having to put some goddamn suntan lotion on. But the Most High chose you. The Most High did not choose you at all. The Most High despises you. And it says that in the book of Romans 9 and 13. Where it says, Esau have I hated, but Jacob have I loved. So God hates you fucking white people. And that's the truth. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that for a little minute. I'll be doing more videos in regards to this quote unquote pandemic when it comes to the coronavirus. And also I'm gonna be doing another video on Kendrick Lamar with the addendum from what I started from the last video I did on Kendrick. I'm gonna add more to it because there's some points that's really, really poignant that I want to bring out. So I thank you guys, and God bless you all. Peace. Shalom.